week I've been driving around in the 2025 Toyota Crown. It is actually in its 16th generation, but if you're from the US, you might not recognize that Crown nameplate from the previous generations. Let's be honest, if you're from the US, you might not recognize the nameplate from the current generation. It's been out since 2022 for the 2023 model year. I think I've seen exactly 3 of them, but this is quite a popular nameplate overseas. In fact, Toyota is actually installing Crown flagship dealerships in Japan. And it's worth noting that the words Camry and Corolla both stem from the word Crown. This one here is the 2025 Toyota Crown Nightshade Edition, not because it's the king of the eggplants. Toyota actually calls it a sedan, but they also call it a Nightshade, so I'm going to call it an eggplant. This eggplant cooks to the tune of about 236 horsepower combined when you get the standard Toyota Hybrid System 5, which is honestly way more than enough power for a daily driver for a vehicle like this. But if it doesn't quite do it for you, you can opt for the Platinum trim, go up into the Max Hybrid System, which does 340 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. But you also lose out on your fuel economy a little bit because this one gets you just over 40 mpg, while that one gets you just over 30. Another difference between the two powertrains is going to be your transmission. This one here is paired with an ECBT, complete with smooth power delivery and angry noises when you put your foot into it. If you get the Hybrid Max, that one's going to be paired with a direct shift 6-speed auto. Either way, you get an all-wheel drive system with the internal combustion engine and an electric motor pushing the front wheels, as well as a separate electric motor to push the back wheels. This one here will do up to 100% to the front and up to a 20/80 split front to back. But the Max powertrain is going to be more of a full-time all-wheel drive system where it can only go up to 70% to the front. So 70/30 split all the way to a 20/80 front to rear. The Nightshade Edition builds on top of the limited trim, but you get a lot of dark accents like these black handles here, the black door handles, black mirror caps. You get dark badges, some dark chrome around the window trims, and you get these big 21-inch matte black wheels instead of the standard 19s that you would normally get on the limited and below. And these are wrapped in a respectable tire choice here, Michelin Primacy Tour All Seasons. Those mirrors I mentioned are heated, power folding. They'll tilt when you go into reverse, fold when you lock it up. And this particular car has the world's smallest puddle lights option on it as well for a cost of $165. That is half the price of the only other option on this specific car, which is the carpeted floor mats. Some other exterior features of note are keyless access to the front and back doors, as well as these quad LED headlights as long as you're not in the base trim. Excellent visibility at night. You got front and rear parking sensors as well. And Toyota has left the limited badge on there, even though all signs point to the fact that this is kind of its own trim level. Underneath that limited badge is a kick sensor to open the trunk. Maybe we're going to be here a while. That's only on the Platinum trim. If that was a Platinum badge, it would open up the trunk. Instead, we got the little hidden button here, or you can use the key fob to open that up. This feels like it should be a lift back. I like half expected this whole thing to just come up and have it go all the way through. It's like lift back shape. Seems like it should be a lift back, but either way, you do get plenty of room in here. You got a 60/40 split on the seats as well if you need a little bit more space. But 15 cubic feet, I know it's a weird way to measure, but the volume makes it easier to compare against other cars. And that number is actually basically on par with the Camry. It's almost exactly the same as a Camry in terms of space. You got access to your battery over here. You do have some space underneath here as well for some tools, as well as a legit spare. So those Michelin Primacy Tour All Seasons are not run flats. It's not like run flats and a fix-a-flat kit. You actually get a legit spare tire rack here, which I love to see. And you got the pull handles here for your 60/40 split and a grab to close. On the inside, the Crown is knocking on Lexus's door. Lexus. It's nice in here, and these seats are heated and ventilated now as standard for 2025. They're quite comfortable, 8-way power adjustable, leather trimmed, lumbar support, and the steering wheel is heated as well. Feels spacious and well laid out in here. The latest Toyota infotainment system, the fully digital gauge cluster, and while it does have this big old touchscreen, you do still have physical controls down here for the HVAC, and it's nice and easy to use. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are both going to be wireless as standard, and I've had no issues with connectivity all week. The infotainment system is smooth and simple to use. I only wish that it had that shortcut menu like Lexus uses where you can adjust your driver's assist features. Toyota makes you go through the cluster to adjust those. The cluster also has efficiency info and what your powertrain is doing, stuff I love to nerd out over. There's a vertical wireless charger up in the front console that holds the phone snugly and works quite well. That is going to be standard on the Crown. Some other things of note about the center console area, this nifty little storage area. You can actually remove this separator. Your cup holders, you've got some USB-Cs and a gear shift that is more consistent with Toyota than it is with Lexus, plus lots of scratchy, fingerprinty, glossy surfaces. And the center console goes both ways. It's nifty. Don't say the thing. This panel glass roof is massive and lovely and extends all the way here back to the back seats where you get about 39 inches of legroom. It's about an inch more than you get in the Camry. Got my own vents back here as well as some USB-Cs and a fold down armrest complete with cup holders. The driving experience is smooth and quiet and comfortable as long as you don't mat it. That's really my only major gripe with this car is when you get your foot deep into the accelerator, it starts making angry noises out of the engine compartment and it gets a little bit loud and drony. But outside of that, very smooth, quiet, comfortable, plenty quick enough even without the 300 horsepower motor. It's not going to light your hair on fire. I would know. I had hair before I drove that ZL1. But if you're an enthusiast or if you're just drag racing automatic Miatas at stoplights, maybe you need that 300 horsepower motor. But if you are an enthusiast, I'm not really sure how you ended up on this video in the first place. Again, it's plenty quick enough once you start getting going here. And the throttle, it's not the most responsive, but that's kind of true with a lot of automatics, especially that are more comfort oriented. And when you're getting off the line, it's more of a smooth, slow build than it is like an immediate jab. It'll help make sure your passengers don't get car sick once you get moving. And especially if you pump it into sport mode, it is a little bit more responsive there. And it is, again, plenty quick. One of the big selling points of this car is the fact that it's lifted up a little bit. It's almost half an inch higher up than the Camry in terms of your ground clearance. And then if you jack the seats all the way up, you get a pretty decent sense of height here. With the sort of coupe-like rake in the back of the car, though, you do lose out on some visibility back there. It's got like a coupe sort of lift back looking shape to it, but without the benefits. So you do lose some visibility out the back, but the rest of the visibility all around is quite good. These highway entrances from stop signs are absolutely terrible, and here we go. And those angry noises. So, all right, so it's smooth, it's comfortable, it's efficient, it makes angry noises, and beyond that, it has a great suite of safety and driver's assist features that do their job. They stay out of the way when they're supposed to be out of the way, and they come in handy when you need them. It's the Toyota Safety 3.0 system, which has all the major high points. It's got blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, lane tracing, which works quite well, adaptive cruise. Does have the lane shove assist, but you can tone that down or turn it off if you don't quite like that. But it has all the high points of the driving related assist features, and they work quite well without getting in your way. Also worth noting that this set of tires and this all-wheel drive system have held up very well over this last week, where I've had pretty much every single season, mostly lots and lots of rain, but it has also been cold and warm, and we even got a little bit of snow, and I haven't had no issues with grip at all. After spending some time with this Crown, I'm not all that surprised that I haven't seen too many of them on the road. Not because it's not a nice car, it's been lovely to live with for the past week, but because it sits on this kind of really tiny island between the Lexus ES, the Toyota Camry, and the Crown Signia. It's like got a little bit of a lift, but it's not full on crossover. It's got a little bit of extra luxury over the Camry, but it's not full on Lexus. It really takes a sort of specific type of buyer. And it's a little bit frustrating that you can't get some of the extra luxury features without getting the more powerful powertrain. I don't think that more powerful powertrain is really all that necessary for a car like this. It's plenty quick enough for a daily driver as is, and you sacrifice a lot of fuel efficiency when you get that one, but you have to get the platinum trim if you want the heads-up display, the kick sensor for the trunk, if you want the surround view camera. And with this Nightshade with minimal options on it being priced out to about $50,000, I would probably pocket 10 grand and just get a fully loaded XLE Camry. It doesn't ride quite as smoothly as this, but it still rides pretty well. It's not quite as quiet, but it's still pretty quiet. And you get all the fuel efficiency of the regular powertrain, and you get all the extra features that you can only get in the platinum trim for this one. As always, thanks for watching, and let me know what you think down in the comments. We'll see you next time.
your bumper.